Hello media friends, welcome to a new video from Mad Max Deals and Reviews. Today I want to show you a small flashlight. This one. You say it's not small? Right, but there is a 21700 cell in it, like in the Rofis MR50 or the Werbung A21 or Sofian's C8G. They are all bigger. And 26650 cells are shorter, of course, than the 21700. So the Lumen tops ODF30 longer and thicker, and Folomov's 26650S. I think that's the shortest 26650 flashlight with a tail switch. Yeah, that's smaller by a little bit, but it's thicker. So having this for a size comparison, maybe here you have the S2 for having all the sizes. Let me know in the comment if you need more pictures and comparisons so I can compare to some of them if you like. So Imalent DM70 is what we speak about today. But not only the DM70 was sent to me by Imalent, thank you Shellan for that. They sent also its sibling, the DM35. And maybe you guessed it right now, the DM70 has a Cree XHP 70.2 LED in it, while the DM35 has a XHP 35 in the high intensity version. So that one is for floodlight, producing up to 4500 lumens, and this one is a small pocket thrower, producing up to 2000 lumens. And on throw wise, of course, this one wins. 450 meters it's what is rated, and the DM70 is rated for just 306 meters. The packaging of both is quite the same, so is the user interface and so on. So I speak a lot of things now which are similar, working for both, and if there are differences, I try to show you. Let's unbox the DM35. Come on. Whoops, ripped it. Well. Okay, here is a plastic drawer with the flashlight. Silica gel, of course. They sent a nice holster with the Velcro here. There is a part to mount it. Well, I have to look it up. What's that in English? Please comment to help me. For the belt, there is also with the Velcro, and in the holster, which has here some nice flexible stuff. And I tried. It does not fit very well or hold very nicely if the head looking up, but with the head down it's doing a really good job. So for that, and there is an additional, of course, the bag with the accessories. There goes 2 O-rings. We have a clip, of course, which can be mounted in these grooves. So I think it's possible that you can mount it upside down. And if you mount it here, having it even head up, so if you have this small portion in your clock pocket on your jeans, having the head outside so you can grab it easily and have it in your hands instantly. There is this nice lanyard with the round design. If you watched some of my videos, you will notice I like this above the flat ones. And of course, there is a USB cable, a micro USB. And maybe you have seen there is no USB port on the flashlight. This is because Imalent adds a 21700 cell, which comes with a USB charging port included. That's quite nice because most of us, including me, I have 6 or 7 different chargers. None of them can hold a protected 21700. So there is, this is a 21700 which is unprotected. This one is the protected. That's quite a bit longer than the 70 millimeters which are allowed. So USB port great thing. And it's rated for 5000 milliampere hours, and all the other Imalent cells are quite nice, working good. Having the tail cap open from the DM35, you can see on the back there is a magnet, and all the lettering, the DM35 and built-in 21700 battery. For our German friends, there is a CE on that flashlight itself. That's great. And of course that it's an Imalent is written there. We have a single spring in the tail cap, which is, I think it should be enough, but it could be thicker since this is a boost driver system. So there is a lot of amps going through the LED, or from the cell through the driver will be boosted and then powering the LEDs. And as I told you, there is a magnet, which let me demonstrate. Oh, did I mention? Square cut threads, lots of grease, single O-ring. So I had some piece of metal here. There it is. The magnet. It works nice upside down, no problem here. And if the surface area is enough, the flashlight also holds, whoopsie, in this position, but barely. So the magnet is not super strong. If you have, like here, a hole in the surface, it does hold it upside down, but the lack of metal prevents it to hold it here. So there have been other flashlights with magnets that are very powerful, so you can lift heavy things, but who wants it? You won't have your key rings all the time popping on the magnet. So this is strong enough to be able to have it stick on, but not too strong. Maybe on the weak side, but it's okay for me. We haven't seen this. What else? Looking on the body, we have attention hot on the head, which is necessary. They get hot. Then there is the serial number. We have a side switch, so there's of course no tail switch. On this side switch, we have a kind of a moving filter, something like that. There are 2 slots and 2 holes, and when the flashlight is switched on, there is a green light, and this part can block this light to make it brighter or less bright, depending on if the LEDs underneath shine through the slots or the holes, or you use the part where the light is blocked at most. So it makes a noise. It sits well. There is no big movement, except it can rev around. But this noise is, I do not like mechanically scratchy noises. Not sure, that's not my favorite. And on the other side there is a side light, which is, I cannot switch it on because there's a safety on in there. Maybe on this one. Yes, 3 clicks, then we get this red side light. That's not meant to be a light to illuminate things. It's a sleeping light. There's a special wavelength of this red light which should help you to sleep better. I might have to test this. And then we can see if we sleep better if there is red light. Possibly. The flashlights come with a protective film on the LED, and I think there is the other part of the protection in the head. There is a insulation tab, so please remove both of that before using them. And having the head open, I can show you there's regular threads on the head. The diameter of the threads is different, so you cannot swap it as on other flashlights. And here we see the driver without a spring. There's just a flat contact in the head. So closing it. Then we have, what else can I show you? We have nice anodization, no chips, no problems. Looks a little bit on the shiny side. The knurling is quite smooth, not aggressive. So if you have very greasy fingers, it might be slippery, but with regular dry hands, there should be no problem. You have a good grip enough. What's not my favorite, the design has the switch and this red light on opposite sides of the head, and they feel the same. So if you try and have the flashlight in your hand, you try and there's a good chance you click on the side light and there is nothing, so you have to turn it 180 degrees and there is the switch to power on the flashlight. So yeah, it is as it is. It's a nice design. What can we do? Oh, the differences. If we look on the serious end, the XHP70.2 has an orange peel reflector and the AR coated lens, and the XHP35HI sits in a smooth reflector behind the AR coated lens. Both LEDs are nicely centered, and on the XHP70.2 they made a little trick. Usually when these LEDs are exposed, you can see the phosphorus on the edges of the LED. They do not emit directly light, but they are activated by some light bouncing around. And these edges are the areas where these strange color aberrations in the beam from this XHP70.2 LEDs come from. So Imalent take the reflector hole to block it a little bit, so their beam is quite nice and clear. And which brings us to the user interface maybe. Let's try that. We start with the DM35 and try my black wall. There is a short click for on and a short click for off. Short click on and then hold so it toggles from low to medium low. Then this is medium, and you notice now very clearly there is a small spot. If I center it here, that's medium. Then we have a high. Double click gives us a turbo. Another double click does the strobe. Then you can only single click to switch it off and single click to switch it on to be in the mode memory mode, which were at last. Not my favorite too, but it is as it is. And I found out if you want to start in low, you have to do a trick. If you lock out the flashlight so it's not powered anymore, it takes a few seconds, then all the electricity is gone. And if you then start it again, it starts in low. So I think it's always a good thing to lock out via the battery tube, and then you can start in the low. Or if you prefer, let's go to the medium brightness. If you prefer the last mode memory, you can simply 1, 2, 3, 4 click 4 times. Then the LED underneath the button switch flashes. Now it's locked out. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Lock it again, or unlock it, sorry. Again it flashes, and then you're back to memory mode. So you can choose by breaking the circuit, going down and start in low mode, and keeping it to the electronic lockout, you have the mode memory. Yeah, there's another feature. If you click and hold the button for more than 2 seconds when the flashlight is off, do it, then this green light comes on. So now you can have this as a marker. So when you go to bed or something like that, you can have it in the green. And so that you do not forget that, there is a timer. After 3 hours, it does switch off itself. Or you click and hold again for 2 seconds, and when you release the button, the green light is gone. And it's all the same on the DM70. There is one more difference when you have both on the shelf and you cannot read what's on the top, like here. There is a blue color on the rings on the side light and on the switch for the DM70, and it's a silver ring on the DM35. And let's do a quick check on the beam of the DM70. So that's low, try to be in the center, medium, medium low, and now that's the medium. And you see the portion of the spot is a lot bigger here than it was on the DM35. Let's try that again. Small spot if I have to circle on my black square. And medium, big spot. There's of course a high and a turbo. So the brightness was not completely because my camera is in automatic mode now. Yeah, what can we do? Amp drop possibly. So let's check this. The flashlights, as I was told and as is written in the user manual, which I did not show you because it didn't fill out. So, big user manual, coming in English, Chinese, German, Korean, Japanese, in Arabic and Romanesque. So, lots of languages to learn. And this states there is a thermal regulation, which when you have 55 degrees on the driver, it drives down to 900 lumens in case of the DM70, which is the middle mode. The high mode is 1400, so there is not a big difference between middle and high. And the high has the step down, as has the turbo, and middle mode in 900 lumen is the stable mode. So let's be here, whoops, send right down, start with the DM70. Always be sure you have a tight connection here on the head. With all my opening and closing and playing around, I once had a bad connection and was a little bit concerned why it doesn't come on. So, whoopsie, wrong button. Start in low. The DM70 takes 0.07 amp. Medium low consumes 0.8 amp. Medium is 2.15. High is 3.14. And turbo is hot 9 amps. So 9 amps on the DM70. Now try with the DM35 and compare that. It was, whoopsie, so that's low. Low is 0.04 amp. Whoopsie. Medium low 0.66. Medium 2.29. High 3.1. And turbo is 8.03, slightly above 8. And getting hot. So 8 amps and 9 amps. And on that, I think this is the XHP35 is a 12 volt LED. We have a 4 volt cell, so that means they boost from 4 to 12, which is 3 times. Then you can divide the amps by 3 times to see what's going to the LED. And the boost drivers, let's be generous with 70 to 80% of efficiency. So we have 8, that's maybe 2.2 up to 2.2, 2.4 amps on the LED, which is real for this claimed 2000 lumens, and that's a very good job. So I think we have all of this. Let's head outside and look how they perform in reality in the wilderness. Welcome outside on my regular spot. This is the Lumen GT Mini making a nice beam, so that's a really kind of a pocket thrower. This tree, if you do not know, is 110 meters. At the end of this small field we have a road up there that's about 140 meters. Up there is a barn which is lighting up now. That's on 400 meters. I see ice there on the hill. That's 150 meters possibly. But we will concentrate on this road. The 110 on this tree, 140 here, and maybe on the backside of that, so we can get a nice idea what the beam shape of the contestants look like. So let's start with the DM35. I start in low mode, medium low, which already makes the tree at 110 meters appear. I can guess that there is the road. In medium, I clearly see the road up there, the barrier between the field and the darker field behind. Ice coming nearer. I'm curious who that will be. And you see there is a lot wider beam than the GT Mini has. So let's see. Yeah, there is high. Double click, having a turbo now. So on turbo I see the barn lit up, so the gray square comes into my view. I think that's maybe a deer. We will see. It comes toward me. So try the DM70, starting in low, medium low. So there is no more spot. It's like a flat beam. Medium. Now the tree is visible. The road is not, and 140 meters. That's high. So now I can see 140 meters the road. And pointing in the middle of the hill, I see both parts of the field. Go to turbo, 4200 lumens. Nice floodlight, nice overview. No real spot visible. Beam color is great if you ask me. So then I also brought with 4000 lumen and XHP 70.2 from Werbung, the A21. So you can see that's the Werbung 21A, sorry, or A21. Switch that off and double click. That's the 4000 lumens, 4500 from the Imalent. And that's the Werbung with the bigger head and the bigger reflector. I cannot see that much of a difference. Left side is the Imalent, which has a cooler tint, but in the area it lights up, there is not much of a difference, but size-wise it is a big difference. So now bringing back the DM35 against the DM70, both on turbo. DM70 now adding the DM35. You see clearly there is a beam and there is no spot. Whoopsie, that was turbo. I will let them cool down a little bit so that we have a nicer point to start with, and then walk away a few meters to show the beam shape. So starting with the DM35 and in the right hand, on the left hand I have the DM70.